Welcome back. It's been a while. In our last session, the group examined the spot where the puppet man of Enowen had vanished within the bowels of the beast and found a black spreading spot that appeared to be necrosis of the flesh. Whatever it worked did seem to have its effect, although whether or not it was spreading fast enough, the group could not tell in the urgency of having to leave and get out. They exited the building to find Officer Tazri and Noyan Dar, informing them that the city had done evacuations. Things were taking a rapid pace, and that there was apparently no way to call off whatever purge was raining down from the sky by the Mercy Killers. Nerif created a teleportation circle towards Enowen's lair, with Alara using her last sending to inform the vampire or so, and he informed that there was a rerouting in place of teleportation and that the group should leave immediately. The group got in and found themselves in what Nerif identified to be a magnificent mansion, an extra-dimensional space outfitted well for a very comfortable and luxurious party and sitting, except that no one is currently in the mood for partying at all, with panicked citizenry fearful and huddling around, and members of expedition houses looking confused and slightly awed perhaps by the luxury demonstrated. After determining that this isn't some kind of innate vampiric ability, Alara immediately heads off to assist Tazri in calming the people down, giving whatever reasons for them to stay put. In official capacity, they do what they can to answer questions and assuage emotional volatility at the moment. Alara finds the representative of the Balaget house and informs Tazri that if anyone can deal with this, it would be them. Verity looks for Enowen, and Nerif is able to remember a sequence that Enowen used himself to bypass a scrap golem standing in the way of what seems to be the conference room, where there are raised voices. The Mercy Killers, represented by Alison Elysia and the Inquisitor Malik, are facing off with a trio of planeswalkers represented by Jace, Gideon, and Nissa. And the last member is Enowen himself, no one looking particularly amused or happy at the going on. Alara introduces herself in her full name, with subtitles by the assistance of her party. And there's a long discussion on jurisdiction, on blindsiding, on accumulated errors and mistakes as to what led to the tragedy at Seagate. The topic shifts to Chandra, who apparently carries some kind of a universal portal key in the draconic scroll she has. That is a great concern of the planeswalkers, and also a concern for Enowen, seeing as to where she might be heading. It might be used to potentially unlock greater evil or the Eldrazi themselves. Bowman shares what he knows about the scroll, but it would seem that the very efforts to keep Chandra from Enowen last time have come into place here, with Chandra being difficult to find or track. That comes as one of the priorities. There's also discussion of illegal technology, worries about bioweapons, and it starts becoming apparent to the group that everyone here has some degree of trust issues or responsibility issues coming from their respective departments. The question of the escaped convicts from Sigil also comes into play as to the jurisdiction and what everyone is up against. And after some long discussion, the group comes and decides on priorities. regarding the cultists who are interfering with various sites important to the functioning of containment, or otherwise just keynotes the plane itself, Alara formulates a plan to recruit the expedition houses into dealing with them. As for the 3 escaped convicts, some at large and some less so, they suggest that the Mercy Killers visit Emiria the Sky Rune, where Alara is able to collaborate and connect some dots regarding strange, mysterious angelic sightings that were not predicted. And perhaps the Mercy Killers might look for the Lady of Light there and her flock, though they warn the Mercy Killers about collateral damage. Chandra is an issue. The party intends for a moment to work with the trio of planeswalkers to try and narrow her down and possibly stop her jumping if needs be, so that they can safely retrieve the portal key. Anowan himself will be dealing with Eldrazi uprisings around Zendikar, and there's a 5th matter that's not discussed openly at the table, which lies more with the group's understanding of ley lines with Anowan. Having their priorities in order, the group starts moving out. Okay, so the session begins today. So my understanding is the group is going to talk to the expedition houses first, right?
I'm going to talk to the J's group first.
Yeah,
Yep,
so
we start
so
with
moment
But is there
first.
anything else you wish to discuss with the with Anowan, the Mercy Killers, or the Planeswalkers at the table? Otherwise, if they split up, it might be hard to get them back together again.
Because I'm still staying in the room to talk to the J's group. Unless
Okay,
anyone
but are
wants
there
to...
any other matters? Because otherwise, you're going to disband the conversation.
I
Well,
don't think
Alara
so, right?
is, as she leaves, she's going to give a knowing nod to Anowen, and let the Mercy Killers do whatever the hell they're supposed to do, because we've given them the brief already, so they should be moving along.
So this shouldn't have anything to talk to anyone,
Yeah.
right?
So now it's just Moment and Gang.
Yeah, and J's gang.
Okay, the Planeswalkers will be moving off separately as well, because well, it's quite obvious at the table that neither 3 groups can stand to be around each other for too long.
That's so sad. Okay.
They have very different methodologies and understanding.
Well, in that case, I think Alara can come with us to talk, right? Since we are going out, we are not staying in the...
I
Alright,
don't know.
yeah.
She's moving out. It's your call. I'm giving the spotlight to Moment.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to deal with the Planeswalkers first, then I'll say Anowan and the Mercy Killers will depart.
Okay. Are we still using this room, by the way, or are able to use this room?
You can.
Okay, okay.
Mercy Killers, Elison, Nelicia, and Inquisitor Malik give their salutes to Sile, and Sile is going to join them because this is something he has to do.
Mm-hmm.
That leaves a poor Verity alone behind.
There.
Still haven't get
Too
the
bad
room.
no one can see Verity's expression behind his helmet.
Yep. So Mercy Killers depart, informing them it shall be done.
Let's hope he don't smash things. Okay.
And Owen himself looks around the group and goes, I think we have talked long enough. I'm going to see what's left of my mansion. And he fades into the background.
Okay.
And that leaves you with the trio of planeswalkers.
Okay. I take a chair and sit down. It's like, whew.
Rough day.
Tiring even. Oh. Did you know I have been fireballed multiple times just because of today's incidents. Oh boy. Anyway,
Do you need a reminder on the planeswalkers' names?
I only know Jace's name. He did mention his comrades, but I don't remember his comrade's name.
It was Nissa and
Okay,
Gideon
let
or
me
something.
let me load up the thing again.
Mm.
Yeah, Nissa and Gideon.
And let me look for the pictures as well to help.
I only seen Jesus' portrait before, the hooded one, at least.
Yeah. Okay. So as a reminder, you're familiar with Jace by now, and his ally friend, who seems to wield a whip and has positively gleaming armor, is Gideon.
Oh, Castlevania. Okay.
And the elf that accompanies them mostly keeps to herself and seems to be uncomfortable about the room is Nissa.
Okay. Which one is more?
Gideon speaks up. He seems friendlier at the moment. Okay. Rough day.
Very, very, very rough day. Oh, take a seat. Don't stand. Like I've been standing for long enough. Everybody, please take a seat. Oh,
If you don't mind, I'll stand. I feel better standing.
Okay. As you like. Oh, by the way,
Jace looks around and says, "Our conversation isn't exactly private. Keep in mind what you say."
Well, the people trying to listen in, or well, I would say, trying to give this information out of those people isn't the one that is listening in. So I think it's fine since we are in a common goal anyway.
All right.
Okay, so Chandra, the lady you are trying to look for. But before that, I do want to know your preparation from preventing her to jump away. Do you need any other preparations, like things, vicinity, like within a certain radius of her, those type of thing?
Well, in the very least, we'll need to be within visual range of her.
So you can't have a wall in between or something, like a different room, perhaps?
It's a bit difficult to explain, but we can see when someone is getting ready to jump, knowing the signals ourselves, and we can work to counteract that.
I look around. Is Nerif still in here? I look around. I will check.
The rest
see-
of the party is still in here.
So Nerif is still in here, right?
Rosa's gonna ask, does that mean you need to see her tells visually? Or can you feel it like, I don't know if you can feel.
Well, we can feel when someone has jumped, but that's done and done with. If we want to stop a jump, we have to see it.
We still need visual cues then.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a counter spell of sorts.
So
You could say that.
So, Nerif, do you still have that thing, or is it like non-existent anymore? Because I feel like that
I'm
thing
not
can
sure
be
what you
hidden.
mean.
The thing where we can comfortably hide ourselves from prying. Oh wait, that one we cannot have it because that one still can see through. It's
I
like no.
hadn't prepared it today.
No, we are not gonna use that today. Anyway, but can people see through it if we use that? Because I
If
know
you
we
want
cannot
them to.
we cannot hear because last time that's what we used.
Out of character, the
I'm
features it has, we decide. So
Oh,
if
so
we
you
want,
can
if we want to
can
be
make
able
it
to
a
see through it, we can.
so it is technically you can make an invincible thing, right? Like people can sit inside and then it's invincible.
Yes, invisible. You mean?
invisible.
Yes.
Visible.
Invincible is a whole different thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
yes,
because
yes.
I've been like my English pronunciation
Okay.
always is
We
like that.
can
So
we can we can
yeah.
make it see through. Yeah.
Okay. So, so yeah, that is what I want out of character, so that they can hide in there. If
Wait.
we are using a room.
I mean, it's gonna be both ways. Like if you can see out, you can see in. It's not a one-way thing.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm trying to make sure if your spells work like that.
No, no, no. It's both ways.
Mm,
Uh,
okay.
Nerif, I think you would know this as a mage, but if you're casting a private sanctum within somebody's magnificent mansion, the magnificent mansion probably takes priority.
Yeah. I don't think
But
he's
we are
asking for it now. He's
yeah. I'm thinking when we are going to meet up with Chandra, I'm using
Mm.
the private sanctum as a thing to meet in somewhere. But because he said like if people can see through, that's go with both ways.
yeah,
Then I
yeah,
was
yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm not using it in the magnificent mansion.
Yes, yes. I
Okay,
let you know that everything works both ways.
okay. Hmm. In that case,
Also,
that.
if Alara leaves to go talk to the
Mm-hmm. Are
to go
you
talk to
leaving
the
as
people,
well?
I will leave
I
with
think
her.
we might as well just resolve this one first, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. You. I just want to confirm a spell anyway, so you can just leave and go talk to them. Okay. Okay, and then that's not the case then. Do she know you guys? Have she seen you guys? I'm talking to back to Jace, Gillidan, and Nisa. Mike.
She knows us.
Mm.
Well, Gideon speaks up. Some of us, perhaps. I think she knows us as law enforcers, which isn't quite far from the truth. She doesn't like the law.
So, in other words, she's still not going to be cooperative enough if they seen you guys.
Consider it this way.
Mhm.
She's never had anyone dictate to her how planeswalking works and the responsibilities that come with it.
That's fair. She did come here alone.
Planeswalking is a delicate art. It's not for everyone. And the most critical rule is to be careful of what you bring and leave with you.
And knowing that she's bringing something she don't know into a place that she doesn't know, that would be harmful. Okay. So you guys will need to be hiding in plain sight, right? In all honesty.
You can bring her to a spot that might be better than trying to find her and
No, I have a spot placed in my where do I want to place them? Place her. But the problem is that location is not really open. And I don't feel like there's any other place that is open that is safe in where we are going to meet. Just to let you guys know, we are going back to a place called Akau.
Nisa speaks up to Elf. It is a place ravaged by fire.
Other elements too, but fire is most prominent.
The land itself rages.
Yes.
She speaks up. We don't necessarily have to be on the ground.
Oh, because I was thinking about a town that we often meet up, which is in Alpha Town, is in a tavern. But that's the thing: tavern, close confined space, house, building. Don't know where to put you guys at. And outside of
Well, Jay says, Well, just let us know when she's in the building, then we can move in.
Okay, that will be easy enough when we have our party.
But if it comes to outside, please be aware that we can be three-dimensional as well, not just on the ground.
Okay, okay. That I can. That would be very very useful. Okay. Okay. So okay. Thank you for that. That will be noted down. Need to note this, you guys. Okay. So right now she will be somewhere within a calm looking for things. I don't know what's her mission right now, to be honest. But I can call her back, contact her at least back to Alpha Town to talk about information I gathered. I put a quotation mark, the finger motion up to let her know that I have information she wants, and she uh, might come back to talk to me about it. For her traveling back when or how long, I'm not really sure because the place is quite wide. Might be days or might be weeks, but the best case scenario is when we finish this talk, we'll be going back to Alpha Town to set up our stuff as soon as possible. Might be 2 days time.
Jay says, we don't exactly have the luxury of time. Nisa? And the elf speaks up. If you're able to contact her, see if you can ask her to describe her surroundings. I may be able to pinpoint her.
It's a one-time contact thing, so I don't know if I can ask her to do such a thing in.
Then you will have to be as detailed as possible. We don't get a lot of chances.
Okay.
Gideon just shrugged. No pressure.
Well, when you say that, and a key that can technically unlock something more horrifying, that will be
I'll buy you a drink. Several drinks.
if only drinks is the thing that can quench me. Oh, if you haven't known, I'm not technically a human.
Yeah, so Sonny was going to say, "Oh, do you want?" Then she stops herself.
Not now.
I look at Moment and I go, how fast can you contact her?
I can contact her right now, but we are not in Alpha Town.
I look at Moment. We can be very quickly tonight, even.
Okay, so if okay, Jace, Gideon, and Nisa, if you guys sticking with us for a little bit while, maybe we can contact her tonight using what I'm able to try to contact her.
He says, what exactly is your means of contacting her? Perhaps you can expedite it.
It's a sending stone. Sadly, it's a one-time thing. No, well, 1 day. Once a day thing. So that's why it's limited. That's why I said it's limited.
That is very good news.
Oh, can you pinpoint the location of the sending stone even?
Not within this mansion.
So even if I don't use the sending stone, you still can pinpoint it if we are out of the mansion.
No, but if you make a connection with her, we can start narrowing things down.
Okay.
How
At least that's
often
something.
can you use the sending stone?
Once a day.
Might be worth it to use it to contact her, figure out where she is first of all, and then have that meeting in Alpha Town.
It says, I would suggest formulating your message very carefully.
I'm going to use my message as what I intended to tell her, that I found some information regarding her thing.
Okay, Jace is
And
basically saying if it only works once a day, and with the clock ticking, that once a day is a bit critical to get whatever you want in.
yeah, but
It's like,
since
hi Chandra, how are you?
no, I'm not gonna do that. I use it before I know it, and I seen how Alara used her sending, so I think I know what I need to do. But yeah, technically, yeah, I understand.
Well, let us know if you need to go to Alpha Town. We can speed things up.
Okay, probably tonight. Uh,
You
yeah,
need
probably
to
tonight.
prepare
Question,
the
isn't-
trap.
Isn't the
No, the trap says that they only need visual confirmation of where she is.
However,
So
where will you put them?
But
Where will
she
they
knows
sit?
them.
Where will she come from? All
I
these
am-
things need to be
Uh,
decided.
DM,
Yeah?
in the no, but we don't really want to involve the other patrons. But in the tavern, there's always a whole bunch of odd peoples anyway, right? Can't we disguise?
You look at Jace and Gideon and Nisa, and they look nothing like inhabitants of this place.
even I don't look like
how good-
inhabitants of
I'm
that
gonna
place.
directly ask them. Rosa's gonna directly ask them, how good are you guys with disguises?
I think
mean, I'm sure you
I
guys
think
have some
they have
sort of
magic. They can
survival
like.
Jace says, I have some adepts. I have some ability in illusions, but he and Nisa both together look at Gideon. I stand out in the crowd.
I
Well,
look at all
you can
three
be
of
outside
them.
the door, I suppose.
I look at all three of them and I go, more importantly, can she tell if you're around?
She's not terribly observant, but she has interacted with us before, and she's known to be jumpy.
So she wouldn't be able to tell that you are a fellow planeswalker by feel?
To flip it, if
If
like
we do
someone
not use
outside
our
there,
walking abilities, we seem like normal.
that's good.
Yeah, okay.
That is actually very good.
Okay. I do have one thing I can put out, but I don't really know if it's useful, because you are maybe the only one that cannot hide really well in plain sight, Gideon. So I'm suggesting maybe I put you somewhere where we are going to meet up, and then use this. I use silent image and make and just cover up the entire part as the same look look alike. The corner of the wall or something like that, to make it just like the same.
You just turn him into part of the wall.
Yeah, I'm technically making him part of the
Just
wall.
Put him behind
Hide
a
him in a
wall.
freaking cupboard.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he can hide in the closet.
Yeah, you can see, and then like
Okay,
technically,
but keep in mind that people do get investigation checks to interact visually with the thing, though.
yeah, but I'm putting it somewhere like not going to be very like obvious. Well,
But
I
before
try to
that-
anyways.
Before we try to do this, if we're going to set the place up by hiding the planeswalker in the tavern itself, we kind of want to minimize innocent people, innocent bystander, right?
It won't have fighting, so don't worry about it.
Oh no, shit. We should find a different place, or what's his face is gonna kill us for using magic.
That's why I'm saying in the room, because he knows I use magic, but I do not harm his building like what. No.
But we can't put random.
Like
You know Chandra has fireball. A lot of
Yeah.
fireball.
Yeah, that's why I'm putting her in a room where I can like speak to her,
Yeah.
thinking that it is safe. Do you
Damn it.
understand? Do you understand? That's why I picked the room like she thinks it's like more safe. Like since I have come out and be
Secluded.
friendly with her, try to help her in a way before, instead of like more aggressive tone
Rosa
Have-
raises her eyebrows, but finally nods. Like, okay, fine.
That's why I use room instead of the whole entire, the goddamn lobby downstairs. The patrons, like that, she won't want to speak about her scrolls down there because she doesn't want people
You
to
don't
know
have
about
to
it.
ask her to speak about her scrolls yet. We can just, trap her and catch her, and we talk to her later.
No, the whole premise of them meeting up is to discuss the scrolls.
Yes, it is to discuss the scroll so that she like will be like more calm and collected and not immediately jump away. But if things comes to shove, they are there to prevent that and maybe capture her.
Yes, because I think what Moment aims to do is to explain the situation to her and then um, seek her cooperation.
Yes.
All right.
That's why I immediately say when you guys say like seems to capture her or trap her, that's why I was like, can we do it a more not that aggressive way?
Rosa is already in a capture mindset. Honestly, Rosa would think like the fastest way is to just ensnare people.
How
Thankfully,
are you a neutral character?
she's a copper. She just wants to catch people.
Oh
She's
right, Rosa.
catcher.
Yeah.
But she never got to use her strike, so I changed it already.
Okay, so yeah, so that's generally
I think Rosa did entrap the guy that Alara blasted with the maximized call lightning.
Yep,
So-
that happened.
once, right? Yeah, once. Okay,
Okay,
anyway. Okay, so that's generally my mindset and trying to calm her down. Let her know the dangers.
Jay says, speaking of calming, I would advise against trying to use mental magic on her. She
No.
hates that.
No. Like my magic capability is very limited. I'm not your type of magician. And I point to Jason like, and I smile. So don't worry about that.
All right, so that seems straightforward.
Yeah. And unless it is necessary, like if things get a little bit out of hand, then you guys can jump out to do your stuff.
What's the name of the place?
It will be in the compass point in Alpha Town. You can't miss it. It is the only tavern bar in the town.
Gideon says, I like taverns. That's where it all starts.
To yes, it is. Also, do try to make yourself not that colorful because patrons likes to eye on people that it looks like a planeswalker because planeswalker quote unquote earn money for them. Most of the guides are in Alpha Town looking for jobs to always eye for you guys. So make yourself more not brightly colored, more dull colored, and since that place always have like different elemental effects, weather and whatnot, so try to don't make yourself too
Jay
in
says, we have tried. It doesn't work so well because it's difficult to disguise our arrival.
Right. If you go there earlier, just tell them that moment you are here to look for moment and just buy a room and wait. He will tell me when you guys arrive if you guys went there early.
Why don't they just travel with us?
I don't know if they want to go there to set up early, but I mean, like, if they
I-
want to go there early, this is the thing. There's no reason why they ask me what's the location name if they not going there early. Anyway,
No, they're just checking, but to let you know, the planeswalkers can travel with you if you want.
Yeah, 'cause
But-
I think their concern is that if they use their powers, Chandra will be able to track them. She was able to detect the
yeah, she
portal
are able to
used
detect
before.
portal use because
It
we
made
did.
her quite jumpy,
Yeah, we did
if
jump.
you recall.
My
Yeah.
suggestion is we go together. Give
Yes.
us
We
3
go
hours.
together because we have a place of contact we can go to that would not raise too many suspicion.
Out of
I
out
think-
of character, Do portals work inside of Magnificent Mansion? Like if we
But they managed to use teleport unless this is a different house rule thingy because
As
normally it
in,
doesn't do that.
there were teleportation circles in this magnificent mansion that have been ad hoc.
okay, so we can use Gina.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
Okay.
we probably bring. Or do we pass the other one to like Anoan or some shit, or just bring it with us?
Right now we have the missing Gina already, right? Because
Yep.
the
Yeah.
officer Tasri gave it
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to us.
yeah, she does not want to hold anything for you guys anymore.
Okay, so we
She
technically
touched Gina for like less than 24 hours and Eldrazi visited.
Pretty much.
pretty much.
Okay,
I'm thinking we keep Gina and then
Nope,
we use
we keep Gina, we use Gina, we take Gina with us,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it comes to coming back here, we can do it the
use
next day.
Nerif. Yeah, we use Nerif's
Yeah,
magical circle.
because we already know the teleportation circle.
Mm.
No, but
Okay.
that's a
fine.
temporary thing.
Yep.
So that will
yeah.
be what we will be using for like going in and out of here, technically speaking.
But the planeswalkers can also teleport you if you need them to.
But since we have a point inside the compass point already, yeah, compass point, get it? Okay. We might as well just use compass point.
Right.
Wait, does that mean that the planeswalker can simply come into anyone's abode?
If they want.
They can, but it looks like these people have reservations for reasons that you all can probably figure out.
And it's still a magnificent mansion, means that not people kneeling willing can just jump in without the invitation.
Well,
of
most
the-
people don't have like ability to teleportation circle and all those.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, we're in like the top something percentile of adventure right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
I stand up and then I look at the three of them.
So I would suggest, since we already have a place on contact, you three travel with us when we are going. Is that okay with you guys?
Tonight,
I
us
look
3
at
hours.
Alara, since Alara didn't left and come back. I was like, tonight?
3 hours. Give it 3 hours. We have things to finish up here. I suggest within that 3 hours you make yourself as inconspicuous as possible.
If you can, yeah. So 3 hours around that time. Also,
we'll be
I
around. It's not like we can go very far.
we will look for you since if you are staying here anyway.
They not.
Well, 3 hours. We will meet here. It's easier to say. Meet in this room. Fine.
Certainly.
Okay. Then I thank you very much for your time, and I'm so sorry that she has caused so much trouble in this plane that I have no idea.
It is not your apology to make. Many things have combined to make things more difficult than they are.
Well, sometimes being kind is a pain itself. Laugh to myself.
Gideon claps a hand across his chest. Doesn't mean you should stop, though. Just that some things that have unfortunate circumstance doesn't mean they were wrong in the first place.
Yeah, I know. Hey, thank you for your time. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. I'm okay. I'm
I
confused
stand
now.
up and I look
Anyway,
at all of them and thank them. I'm going to go now. We have other things to do. We'll meet you up in 3 hours. And then I walk off.
I will.
Jace weaves a spell around the three of them that Nerif, your arcana, understands it to be seeming.
Good old
seeming.
Seeming.
high quality magic.
So Jace weaves a seeming around them to look like ordinary refugees from
scrubs.
Seagate, like worried people that just like quickly leave the room and head off in other places.
Okay. Sony. Yes, Sony. What is your HP currency looking like?
Is that in character?
Yes, that's in character. That is in character. But Rosa, be right back. Shit. Because Moment has been really um uh not really say uncomfortable but stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't eat for 2 days.
Oh,
So yeah, that's the thing. She's not here, so I'm going to skip this part for now and let it to Shar and Nerif.
okay.
Yep.
So, Alara and Nerif are heading out to talk to the expedition house leaders.
Yep, with Verdi and Rosa in tow as well.
Right.
Yes.
Verity is being silent in contemplation as to the being alone part as well. So I'll put Nerif, Alara.
In hindsight, I think I will also follow with Sony.
Okay, just put the whole group then.
No.
Yeah, the whole group is there because I was thinking of using a few, just like 6 seconds in that room to like deal with this
Okay.
since she's not there. So whole group just
Yeah,
go.
you can just like retcon it a
Yeah.
bit later.
Mm,
Like,
yeah,
you,
that's
you
right.
guys show up a bit later. It's fine.
Yeah,
So
you'll know
what
where she is. anyway.
happens is that you leave the room and you find yourself facing the familiar figure of Noyendar, who is whose posture is not half as puffed up as it was when you met. Her robes are still messy from the encounters and torn up and bloodied where there was fighting going on. And even his shoes are still caked in the rescue and aftermath.
Is he still injured?
It would
Isn't-
seem so.
Didn't
How
he patch
badly
himself out?
injured is he?
Well, he patched himself up with bandages and stuff, but no healing magic.
I'm gonna give him a level Rever 1 cure wounds if that helps.
Revel
Rever
Run.
1. Because
Revel
I have
Noyendar waves off the healing space. I think we should have a talk.
I know.
Okay.
Well, we just happen to have access to a nice private room. Turn around, walk back in.
Private
Noyendar waves and saying, No, there are things I wish to speak that. Let's put it simpler. Will you allow me to cast?
I look around. I'm not exactly in charge here.
But if you are directly
will you
speak
be
to us
casting?
about spells, then if it's like you want to do
Will you
something-
allow him to cast telepathic bond?
Yes.
I
okay,
nod.
that one
I'm
is
like,
that one is no harm. That one's
Sure.
no harm.
Sure.
Yeah.
If it doesn't involve the boss.
It's like I can't stop you, buddy.
Turns out,
You can cast what you like.
turns
You
out
can
Anowan
cast
is
what you
being
like.
creepy at the back. Like he's just
Yeah.
in the circle.
I feel like anyone has like eyes in this mansion anyway. It's just why people is like so like jumpy.
I nod at him.
Jumpy.
Carry on.
Noyendar casts his spell, weaving his magic, and for the second time, you all feel a connection between your minds. And though this time there's the additional presence of Noyendar himself, and oh boy, it does intrude into the bond like the size of an ego, the size of an overfed whale. But anyway, it's there.
Mm. Ego.
Overfed. Wait.
That's my hunger. Also.
I ask him. All of this is in the mind. I don't voice out any of this. Just,
Okay.
you know, we're mind
Well,
chatting.
except now you're sharing thoughts and all
Yeah.
that.
I'm
So,
Oh, then everyone just
What is
just
it would you
hear
like to
moments just
say?
like, God damn, I'm hungry right now.
I suppose we pick somewhere and sit down rather than just stand out
Yeah.
in the middle of everywhere.
he leads you aside, and as he walks, he communicates mentally. So, as you're perfectly aware, nothing is private in this place except perhaps within our minds.
It's nothing to hide anyway. Unless you still have things to hide. Well, this is
Not
mentally
high,
speaking.
but there are things that anyone might react to poorly.
Specifically?
Believable.
Seagate and Malake do not have good relations for good reason.
But they used to have connection long time ago, isn't it?
It fell apart.
Be that as it may, what is it that you want to speak to us about?
He draws a long breath and says, "So, Seagate, despite all our efforts, it's..." He shakes his head and goes, "What was the consensus in the room? Was there any?"
Why do
Was
you
a very
hide?
big mistake.
The one consensus actually is like, why did you try to hide the facts?
Why? It's not obvious. How would people react if I told them they were facing an undefeatable enemy?
Well, one thing for sure, if you didn't hide it for so long, maybe it wouldn't have happened.
Look at Malake. They do not develop anything. They have not tried because everything is inevitable.
Well, that's one consensus that they put up. Keep asking you like, well, asking why you did it. Yeah.
Seagate could not have existed as a center of learning, be that as may, culture, development, anything that gives life meaning, just does not work if the weight of Eldrazi is upon us.
Was it worth it?
Eldrazi or not, it seemed that Seagate did not just have a problem with not knowing that. It seems as if Seagate and their scholars did not know anything.
Like, if they know even just
They
a little
knew how
bit.
to make life work, but the Eldrazi, I can tell you this, no one has an actual solution.
Do you have any other information that we might not have?
They have been stalled from time to time. And no one will probably tell you it's his own efforts, but there were those who came before him.
That's basically I try to understand why did he lie about that.
He
But of
probably
course I
did not
can't.
lie. History is written by those
The
who win.
winners. Yeah.
Fortunately for
figured.
him, currently he's the one that won.
Kind of know that.
Do you have any information on the ones that did it prior to him?
He draws a long breath again. He says, "There was another vampire. Not as we understand of Zendikar." He looks at Moment. "No offense, but vampires in Zendikar are quite different from the ones out there."
I know because I have studied about my own race for quite a while.
"You have?"
Yes. That's one thing that they don't talk about and I don't want to talk about. It's
I
about
paused
where we
Moment for
come
a
from.
while. Is this important?
"I wouldn't bring it up if it weren't. Not at this junction."
No, I'm looking at Moment. Is his history important?
Vampires are... Vampires carry a taint, or at least were affected by the Eldrazi once.
We kind of is effect
Eldrazi?
effect of what left by them. As a lot of times I say like I'm not undead, but yet I am for so many years unable to die, well, natural causes because of their influences. Eldrazi at least.
What kind of influences?
A curse, some might say,
Is it
lingering.
blood related? Is it a verbal curse? How is it transmitted?
That is beyond my learning because a lot of those information has been blocked by me or halted because those are information only to the blood chieftain, the guys who made able to make more of us.
There is knowledge in Malakeh that only the blood chiefs possess, and even perhaps they do not fully understand. But the touch of the Eldrazi goes further than just the thirst for blood itself. Even now, I'm unable to confirm how or whether vampires are in fact sleeper agents.
Sleeper agents.
I
mean-
have been a while afraid of that as well.
When you say sleeper agent, you mean at the
If-
drop of a hat, they can turn on us? He can turn on us.
If the
If the
raid-
Eldrazi pull the right strings, it may happen.
yes, that I'm afraid of that. Yeah, but this is not confirmed because none of this has happened yet.
We'll make sure it doesn't happen. Aside
And
from that,
I have it on some worrying authority that there are vampires who actually knowingly align themselves with the Eldrazi. Not as a case of mistaken worship, but deliberate intention.
do we know who they are
Believable.
or where they are?
The library was attacked some time ago. And I think you may have discovered some ruins near Seagate, if not below it itself. Malakeh had plans for us if things did not go well, but fortunately they were thwarted.
I remind Moment of the documents that we found.
Oh right, the quote unquote newly found temple that they said they have found have a lot of documents of
The
the
old
comes that
letters.
goes and with Malakir and the connection they once had.
Very incriminating documents, I trust.
Nothing much to be found but just comes and goes and do's and don'ts. Nothing much. Says the fallout of this.
You see, at the end of the day, I am also concerned as to what Enowan's motives are. Is he genuinely seeking to imprison the Eldrazi or stall them, or is there some greater play here?
For once, I do not trust him fully yet.
I
But I-
don't think any of us trust him, but the
But
enemy of my enemy is my friend. And if he is supporting this cause at the moment, so be it. Until we can find the next cause of action.
I just hope we're not playing to the Eldrazi's hands by trusting. Well, but enough on speculation. You probably have got some questions for me. Let's hear it.
From what we experienced back at Seagate, it seems that everything that Eldrazi touch turns to shit. How fast does this happen? How much time do we have technically?
It depends on the proximity and the power of the Eldrazi in question. There are some greater ones than others. You have seen some of their foot soldiers, hardly impressive. But the massive cosmic entities, such as that we encountered within the library, distort time and space, and perhaps even minds. That is... No, perhaps I should use a different term to think about this. You have noticed that the Eldrazi affect what they touch. And some of the studies I've conducted, especially the worrisome ones, suggest that the Eldrazi have more in common with us than we think, or perhaps it's the other way around.
Are you saying then that the Eldrazi created a majority of things?
From what I've analyzed of the small pieces of Eldrazi gathered, it's as if it were flesh, just like you and I. Flesh and scale and bone and skin and fur, but malleable.
Perhaps then, as an entity, it doesn't really have a body until it comes in contact with us, and then it starts creating one.
Or perhaps it is just everything that we are, and we are the limitations.
This destruction perhaps is just the creation of itself, which is worrying.
Yes. We have not been able to do anything to defeat it because it is just too closely connected to what we are. But so far beyond our understanding.
We've come in contact with what I think is this creature. Trying to have a conversation with my deity has resulted in waters turning black, turning into goo, and the only way to destroy it is through fire. Would a sample such as that be in any way helpful?
Well, fire would destroy any of us too, wouldn't it?
It seems particularly disdainful of it, and probably the only thing that can destroy it.
I do use a lot of that when I need to. Fire is always helpful.
I smile at Nerif because, you know, he explodes shit sometimes.
Mileage may vary depending on where you are.
I look around the table or the seats that we're sitting on for anybody else to speak out as I think.
Anyone else has questions?
Questions. Do we have questions?
Rosa just wants to get it done with.
We have various things that we have to do, as well as this Eldrazi problem.
What's the course of action?
First, we have cultists who are in league with Eldrazi, or at least some escaped convicts that we have to
I
round
don't
up.
think they're in league with the Eldrazi. They just
They're just
are
I-
doing things
what
feel
they
like-
people do in Zendikar.
I think
taking
what's happening
things.
now is I have heard that the Eldrazi will pull people to their cause unwittingly. So if we have cultists around creating problems, we have to eliminate them,
the
lest they make more.
cultists. Yeah, the cultists right now, for what we have encountered so far, all of them trying to pull something that correlates to awaken
Let's
the
just say
Eldrazi. Yeah.
2 out of
information.
2 situations we've been in, both have been triggered by cultists. The less we have of this problem, the better.
I agree.
And one way to do that is to get the people who are effectively immigrants in this space. They have no home, no offense, and put them to work. Find their keep. I wouldn't say that will solve the problem immediately. It will give people something to do. It will give us eyes, ears, bodies on the ground to work. And if we can persuade the houses to do so, it would be better for us. At least we can move on with our next purpose, which is to find missing persons. I'm afraid information right now, unless mentioned by the other people in the team, we cannot disclose.
Missing persons it is. I can do some assistance with persuasion of the houses, but the main question that they are passing between them right now is regarding what the enemy actually is.
How much are you willing to share with them?
Tell them
If they know the enemy is the Eldrazi, I can assure you they will not help.
Let's go with this. We have cultists out in the open, and we'll just say cultists are the one who created this disaster. Give them an enemy.
blame them of something else. The cause of this.
It's not
Well,
exactly.
they're a
correct.
little related, I think.
That narrative would certainly be more manageable. They would probably ask more on that. We might need to come up with a narrative that satisfies questions.
The narrative that I will think that is best is
Out of
a narrative
character?
of revenge.
Did we brief Noyandar of what happened at that temple that we visited?
No, wait. No, we
think we
did.
Yes,
Did
because
we have enough
in a way
time?
that was kind of the start of it.
Because it's not
Yeah.
us that has told him. It's Verity has told him.
Wait,
Yeah,
this,
I
this
think
was
the
the
people that
first
stayed
one,
behind
right?
the tower while Alara was out there lightning blasting people was
He was also
Yeah.
confirming that
Yes,
as well.
yes.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
So that was where it started. We wouldn't even necessarily be deceiving them, just maybe just
Misdirecting.
misleading
Remember
them.
when the angel came down to
Yeah, just say that the angel did came down to purge. Purge.
Let's not make it complicating.
But yeah,
Yeah,
The
yeah.
easiest misdirection is the one that's evident. So right now we have a bunch of cultists going around, and what more painful to deliver on a silver platter than revenge?
Yes.
Here is a group of people who are going around messing around everything else, and has taken away the heads of houses, property, people, currency. And if they indeed value their property more than anything else, I don't see that they would reject a little destruction of their own.
I have a little concern regarding that one, because that narrative unfortunately also ties into something that I've been hoping to prevent. Seagate is open to most outsiders, unlike other parts of Zendikar. And if we're going to go into a witch hunt of foreigners, we need to be careful that it does not extend to the other non-contributors as well.
The non-contributors, you mean the people who just exist in the city, correct?
As in foreigners who are not cultists.
Yeah, because they'll be like, "Oh, these cultists come from off-world, freaking off-worlders."
we don't want
Sheik's
xenophobia.
fist.
yeah, we don't want them to say like all.
Wait a
all
second, you guys are off-worlders.
Yeah.
Get 'em.
I understand the concern.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, it has to be done in a very diplomatic way.
How can we identify a cultist from one who isn't?
Do we remember any
Well, we know
kind of markings?
I
We know
do
two.
have one thing, but that cultist has been dealt with though. The necklace of the eternal flame. They always relate to. They always coincide with a certain element they are hunting down.
And
We
they
have
tend to
reason-
pass themselves off as a religion.
Yeah. So we have reason to believe that
Planeswalker
the
didn't
only
say that.
ones that are still missing would be
With the wind.
out of character.
Okay.
I only know black, white, green, but I don't know what
Okay,
it's
so
called.
so the
The
red
cultists are based on the elements, so there's the
Yeah.
wind one and the earth one.
Okay,
So-
you've
so what
met the
is
wind
black, white, and
and
green?
the
Fire.
okay, you've met the fire and water. You can give me a religion check.
Oh, so
and we
bad
also
with
know that
religion.
anyone. We also know that anyone dealt
Can I
with.
assist?
This is individual checks, but
Everybody
anyone.
make.
Yeah,
I don't
but
I don't have proficiency in religion.
I know.
I don't.
I have
Know about
proficiency in
the
history,
I'm
but that
thinking
I
doesn't
know
about
work.
the
it.
missing ones are air and earth. Let's see.
And let's see where-
Religion.
11. No,
Ooh.
14.
Give me a second.
I do want to remind you guys that
It's not
anyone
hard
dealt
to
with
remember
one
4 elements.
of the elements of
I know even less.
Oh,
Oh, let's see what
which
Sony
ones did Anoan deal with? Maybe
I
there are
think
not
it
that
is
many
I
left.
think it is death from the what area get it? It
That is
Ondu.
an
Black is
Ondu.
Ondu.
death in Ondu. So black in Ondu that he dealt
White
with.
white is what? Life?
No. Because this is
Air? White
elements.
is air.
It's not colors.
Yeah, but it is element
Green is
coincide
earth.
with color. There is a
Yeah.
death one, but the death color has been dealt with by anyone, which
Really?
is supposed to be white. They were
Wait,
wearing white.
death is white?
I do not know, but that's what he
I thought
said.
white is air because Emeria
Okay, so
is
maybe
air.
maybe he dealt with the air dudes.
But he went to Ondu though. That doesn't make
Ondu
sense.
is death.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not
Maybe
a
Okay,
cultist.
whatever it is.
Okay, whatever it
Mhm.
is,
What do we
anyone
get
dealt with one
with
color.
our shitty score?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say that you're not sure what Anoan dealt with. It seemed like some kind of a death cult or something based on the corpse you examined. But regarding the elements, you have dealt with water and fire.
Yeah.
Uh,
2 left.
oh god,
I know
These are
about
terrible rolls.
We
I
are
don't have
terrible.
religion. I have history.
Rosa has some knowledge of fire.
Yeah.
She recognizes that that Venifer's cult that was dealt with is the cult of the eternal flame,
Yeah,
which
that-
worships the destructive power of fire in all its manifestations and seek to burn away the corruption of civilization with various sort of natural disasters that are fire related.
Yeah, they want to summon the big fire elemental.
Okay, Alara, from her religious knowledge, she identified the cult of the crushing wave, which worships the awesome power of water from the surging tides and deadly maelstroms of the sea to the raging torrents of rivers in the flood and the rock crushing power of ice and glaciers. Basically, they see all forms of living creature as trapped water that can potentially return to the sea or skies in a new form. So that is the two you identify. And between your extrapolations, well, the counterparts that are not brought up at the moment is the cult of
Earth and
Black
air.
Earth.
Yeah.
Like Earth.
The Earth
Black
cult that
Earth,
worships the implacable strength and unyielding resistance of elemental Earth. The last is the. Let me put this down in the
The
notes.
wind people. The howling gale or something. I don't know.
That makes sense if it's a howling
The
gale.
little fart.
Wrong way. Like,
That's crushing wind.
maybe I did that.
Airy fairies.
The airy fairy.
I want to be one of those.
That's
Anemo.
the cult of the Black Earth, and the last one is the cult of the Howling Hatred.
Wow.
Oh, hatred. Wow.
So that would be
They're edgy.
white.
Yes. So the
The
cult of
wind
Howling
boys.
Hatred, they worship the destructive powers of wind and storms, believing that those who venerate elemental air gain the power to punish those who have wronged them. More so than members of other cults, they see their beliefs as means to an end. It's like personal freedom to them.
Okay, so cult of the pain, death, whatever is green. Yeah.
Okay, so this is symbol of Howling Hatred. And the other one is
It's like an upside down
cult of
pine
Black
tree.
Earth.
It's a upside down pyramid or
a
Illuminati.
right side up carrot.
It's a carrot. It's a carrot.
Yeah. Why are they all triangles?
Because triangles. It's a butt.
because
It's a
it's
bite.
it's
It's a bite in a
designed
triangle window.
because it's like graphic design, man. You don't have a overly
Okay,
complex
10,
thing.
10 out of 10. Cult of the Black Earth is just plumber's butt.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, cannot unsee.
Okay.
Okay, let's look at the carrot.
Okay, so
I really this extrapolated information with my team. So we have a discussion in our head with
Yeah,
well,
Noyandar.
Noyanda
These
is here to
guys.
Yeah,
listen
with
anyway.
Noyandar too.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
and then she goes, clearly they're all interrelated, and the faster we find these cults, the better we can do away with them, and that would be the play, so to speak, that we will be delivering to the houses. It's either that or they
If I
move
remember
out.
correctly, the Crushing Wave cult were using a different symbol from their usual one. Right?
I can't remember. Was it?
Am I imagining things?
I forgot.
So
don't
they may be hiding these symbols and
Oh
using
yeah,
others.
because it wasn't the crushing waves. It was the eternal flame that didn't have triangles.
now the Eternal Flame have
the
a
Eternal
lock.
Flames had a symbol.
It had a
If
symbol.
I remember
had
correctly, the
I have the
Crushing
necklace.
Wave,
I can just show them.
yes,
Like I
if
have the
remember
necklace. I can just
Crushing
show
wave
them.
had an eyeball on the hand.
Yeah, which isn't their usual symbol. So they may be going by other symbols, but these are their official symbols.
So as long as they're
sigil knowledge.
deifying an element,
And excessively amount of deifying elements.
Yes. Air and earth specifically.
technically, if they're deifying excessively an element and they're going towards a goal collectively, they look like they're doing something.
Yes. The previous cults were seeking to harness the power of powerful elemental beings at I suppose
Well, we can use the most recent one since
areas of power.
Noyanda would know the recent one since we also met the recent one as well that we met, the
Yes.
Crushing Wave one.
Norinda says, but I thought the wave was dealt with, or at least
Well,
whatever.
I
did
don't think they'll be
harm,
coming back anytime soon.
but they did harm the environment because they didn't successfully take what they want, but they have dealt a blow.
If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, some of them are still alive and MIA.
I think most of them are still alive.
Yeah.
I think all of them.
All of
are.
them are still alive.
Yeah, all of them are.
All of that shit.
Because
Yeah.
they basically showed up, right? And then they
And
like
then
broke the
disappeared.
Kraken out of its shell. And then they were like, oh, Kraken, you're coming with us, right?
We
Let's
need to
go."
focus. Do you think there are any still left in Seagate or amongst the refugees here?
Unlikely.
No, unlikely.
They would have all left.
They're actually
Because they were under the impression that the Kraken was going to follow them. But the Kraken
I see.
didn't.
So if they're dealt with and we have to deal with this howling hatred in Black Earth, then where would be a good place for to start looking for them?
There is one that we were planning to look up, but didn't the other groups is going to look for this as well?
Out of character.
No, they're doing
no.
other things.
The other group is only going to a Maria to find the bad guy.
Yeah, but the
Yes.
bad guy is one of this, right? This one.
No,
No, different.
Yeah, it's different.
They're just bonded together by mutual destruction. That's it. It's just accidentally there for fun.
Yeah. I think we
did
have
try-
reason to believe that the Howling Hatred will be going to the Sky Ruin.
I do have a slight suspicion that they would be there as well.
Yes. And I suppose the Black Earth are going to the Living Spire.
Noyanda, do you have any information about key hadrons?
Key hedrons. Well, I can tell you that hedrons themselves are only important as a network and collective. But the Emiri, the Sky Rune, and the Living Spire are important locations in what they pinpoint. They are nodes.
Yes. I suppose we have reason to believe that there are creatures of power sealed in those places. Because the places where we engaged with these cultists in the past,
All have very strong elemental link to whatever creature they are
yes,
dealing in.
And the two we've encountered had released two very powerful creatures.
yes, the Kraken and the Phoenix, respectively.
If my extrapolation is correct, they're going for two others?
Two others that we know of, at least.
So we should instruct the houses to do their searches at Emiria, the Sky Rune, and the Living Spire.
Correct.
Correct,
Nod,
but
nod.
also don't want them to like just destroy the place, because we don't want to have more problems that we already have. They've created,
Yes,
you know what
we
I mean.
don't want them to
I do not think we need
unwittingly.
to worry about the expedition houses damaging the place. That is not their modus operandi.
Yeah.
But we should be concerned about them looting it.
That's also one thing. Yes, looting, because we have no idea if any of what they take away will be affected by the stuff.
That
Well,
will
as long
be
as they
something
loot
we have to.
responsibly, if there were such a thing.
Also, if they were to loot, where are they going to put it? They're here by mercy. If they decide
but
not to,
you please understand that expedition houses typically take what they find
and
Yes.
keep where?
I
on
think
their person at the very least.
I think
little
as long
things.
as they don't break anything and accidentally release the monster.
I think taking feels like okay. Breaking is the one that always lead to them releasing.
Right now, if I know correctly, each house has information that is not shared between one another. If we can get those houses to divulge some information to us, it would be helpful. And because they probably don't know what caused Seagate to end up this way, we have the upper hand.
I suppose the question is, what do we have to offer them?
Safety.
I don't think that's.
Do we
the
have a
only thing that
permanent
has-
solution for them?
At the moment, no, they
Zendikar
are
isn't exactly
refugees.
the most hospitable place.
Again,
That's
at the
also a
moment,
small
they are
matter of
refugees.
this, that the houses, well, even if you do persuade them to action, there's still the question of who puts in more and who takes the greater risks.
That would be up to them. They will have to work together lest they be shunted out of this current safe space.
We don't really want to shun them, do we? Because we would rather them take action and deliberate over such things.
Of
Could
course.
we possibly decide it?
We will decide who they go with, who they work together with.
And even if they need to work with the other houses.
We have 2 locations right now, and those 2 locations are quite big.
There are 5 houses, right?
This you should be aware of this. There are 5 expedition houses named for the destinations of their first expeditions. The Valakut House, the Palaka Foundation, the Akaum House, the Murasa House, and the Balagat Expeditionary House. So reasonably, they would have more expertise in the destination of their first expeditions, as well as information pertaining to them.
Right.
Fortunately for Valakut and the Akam houses, we may not have need of them at the moment, unless they can furnish us with further information of these important node points.
I mean, manpower is always welcome, right?
Yeah.
That's provided they're willing to work with the other houses.
That's
Yes.
why I did say like we might need them to work with the other houses, and we might need to
I
put them in the
personally,
other houses for certain works.
have not engaged with any other houses except for Balaget, and I know for a fact that Balaget has questionable people under their employ.
All of them have questionable people, I can assure you.
I nod. But
The
right
question
now,
will be
this,
how we persuade them to work together and how we divide them in a way that doesn't cause more unproductive squabbling.
as much as I want to say I know how to do that at the moment, it wouldn't happen until I've spoken with each and every one of them.
They may ask to speak privately and separately.
That is fine.
But if you see them privately and separately, they may concern themselves with whatever terms. There's a lot of politicking.
I'm aware. Where I come from, politics is everything.
All right. Is there anything else I might be able to assist with?
Out of character. Guys? Anything?
I'm
Information?
thinking. Because Narendra do
Can't
know
think
a
of
lot of stuff, but I don't know which one is to ask.
What's
that
his
is the
favorite
right
food? Does he like long walks on the beach?
question. Well, we do know he
suppose
likes
we can
long
ask
watch.
if he sees himself playing any sort of role.
No, yeah,
moving
go
forward.
ahead.
Or
Narrate for us.
Yeah, go ahead.
what sort of role do you see yourself playing in the times to come?
His expression shifts when you ask this. To be honest, I'm not very sure myself. I tried to hold Seagate. I tried to make it a place of learning, of culture, of art, of purpose, and happiness, even, I dare say. But all of that is just gone.
I would say you succeeded for a time.
And you will continue to succeed. You have to remember everybody here is displaced and they will need your expertise.
Right
And
now,
your
they do
guidance.
not need art and culture and all such things.
You assume much. People will fall on to many vices, of which fall under art and culture. You just have to stay their hand.
The authority of the library is shattered at the moment, and that is going to be a problem.
Do you still have authority over the masses? At least trust.
Since your name is one of the biggest in Seagate.
I'm regarded as a sage figure, but I have been avoiding them at the time being because I could not tell them what caused it. So it will be the cult narrative then.
I nod.
Yes.
The cult narrative is the simplest and the easiest one, but the simplest one to rally behind.
All right, we have our identification, we have our narrative.
Right now, with the common people, it's you and Officer Tazri. You hold sway. Maybe not of the houses, but definitely of the people.
That I can do at least.
We just have to make sure there's no riot on our hands when we come back. They
Let's
are
hope
lost.
so.
Not.
I'm gonna look up and see who's around me to see if there's any, notable persons that I recognize that I can go towards, first of all.
Are you done with the conversation with Noyanda?
I look like I'm done. I don't know about the rest.
Yeah,
I don't think there's
so.
anything to ask. Because he also did mention already about the vampires and the deep-seated Eldrazi
Yeah.
curse.
I guess there's one other
This-
thing to think about. I mean, the people of Seagate can't live in Anowin's house
House.
forever.
Yeah.
We need to find some
We
place
need
for
to think of
them.
somewhere for them to settle down
And
again.
Seagate
No,
is
that's
not a
something.
safe. Seagate is not a safe
I-
place anymore, technically
I
speaking.
look to
Yeah, it's like-
Noyanda.
Radiation, you know.
And the spreading of the Eldrazi.
You-
Don't
You
forget about
know of this plane more than we do. And you know that these people are not going to be here forever. If you can come up with any other place that they would be safe in, would
and
be
things that
advised.
would need to be prepared for
He
them
draws a
to
deep breath.
settle.
There is Coral Helm. That is the Coral Helm Refuge. It's at the base of the Omara River. It is much smaller than Seagate, and its inhabitants have a much simpler lives and smaller numbers. It is the closest place I can think of at the moment.
Well, Seagate is not technically
Do the
the
houses know
safest
about
place.
this?
Yes, we have visited it before, but it is like a village to our city.
But the numbers we have right
Any-
now, it is smaller than your supposed to be Seagate previously, right? So I think it ain't
Actually,
able
how
to.
roughly how many people made it to the
Yeah.
evacuation?
Is
How-
it like 100 plus?
Looking around, yeah, there does seem to be at least 100 people around, but you're not sure how many there were in the first place.
I look at
we know,
Noyanda
like yeah.
and I go, what are the casualties compared to what we have here?
His expression shifts again, says, "We are still counting."
Yes, I suppose a more permanent solution will have to wait for when we have more information of what exactly we need.
Well, since the houses would probably know about Coral Helm, we need to make them get to work as fast as possible. Because the minute they decide that they're moving out, we don't have them anymore.
Yes, and
I get
we
up.
may need to perhaps negotiate with Anoan with what can be provided if they do help us with what we need. Because if they do, if they end up faring better just striking out on their own, it wouldn't be right for us to take advantage of them.
I nod. As much as we might be duty bound for these things, they are capitalists. If they don't find it important to them, they would just leave.
Oh, it's important not to mention the refugee at the moment.
Which refugee?
As in, he thinks perhaps it's best to not mention Coral Helm as right now.
Because Coral Helm
I nod.
is a refuge spot.
Perhaps
Right. Okay.
that is something we should keep to ourselves. They may come up with it on their own, but we should not be the one to suggest
Help
it.
them. Yes.
I will see with Anoan in allowing perhaps 2 weeks stay, and then we'll consider something then. Perhaps by 2 weeks they would have cleared out most of the cultists, or at least given us information that we can destroy them ourselves.
He nods. Anything else?
I do have one, but I need to out of character discuss first. You guys remember the carabinos and the
Yee!
runes
That
in
bitch.
the floor?
Yeah. What about them? Well, I don't remember them exactly, but I remember
Like-
they had weird
But
powers.
Alara
against the mana.
does.
Alara does, and Moment has a transcribe for all of those symbols and their meaning.
Ah.
So there is one thing, because this thing is one kind of important part. We talked to anyone before, and he says it's like something of a symbol. Oh no, we didn't talk to anyone. So I don't know if I want to talk to him,
Noyandar.
Noyandar, because he do know stuff.
Or
And
maybe,
this
maybe
is-
you should just
I
ask
think it's
Noyandar
worth because
if he
it
knows.
should be new information for
Yeah.
him because apparently no
Okay.
one's been inside a Hedron
Okay,
yet.
okay, so
Yeah, and
I
it's
do. Okay,
definitely
this is,
not an elemental.
Yeah, and he
okay.
doesn't think everything's an elemental,
Yeah.
so he
Okay.
can actually like
Okay,
You should
so-
totally bring it up.
Okay, I will bring it up. Okay,
he might be
so-
able to do something with the info.
Noyandar. I don't know if any of our compatriots has mentioned this before, that we have been into a Hedron before. I think
Verity did mention that there was a divine entity within it.
yes, about Yeah, that. Okay. If I think of a mental image, they see the mental image, or do I have to show them the image through a piece of parchment or something like that?
I think you can show it through illusion or something.
You have
Okay.
silent image
I
now.
have silent image, but I don't want to show it to the large majority of the people because it's out of sight,
Okay,
right?
okay,
But
okay.
anyway, what do you try and show him in your mind?
I'm trying to show him that symbols that
So like
is
the
in
floor.
yeah inside the hedrons that I see. There's like I show him this symbol. It's like apparently there are symbols that is within this hedron that have very strong powers of itself. And then every time I show one, I translate the meaning and the words of the specific power and the wording of what they are. And we have theorized that this might be some sort of uh, uh, thing that what locked or put this being in here, but we are not sure. Do you have encountered any of this thing before?
Oyanda is silent for a long time as
Mm-hmm.
he contemplates, and you can see his thoughts are troubled.
Mm.
This is not an area I have a lot of expertise in because I believe this ties in with divine entities. I Zendikar has not had gods for a very long time.
But yet he proclaims that he is one of the keepers of what God he was trying to keep this place for or guard this place.
Like I said, Zendikar has not had gods for a very long time. But from what I can tell, when they were, I would not call them benevolent. I would not call them malevolent, but they, he thinks the records were very scarce on what exactly they were.
I don't think they are either of those things too when they were asking or giving us of this task of trying to protect it with our lives.
The creature's name is Carabinos.
But yeah, if Verity has already said it, so I would not. I assume that he says the name as well.
It is a divine entity, all right,
Mm-hmm.
and he
But
considers this. You know, this might sound preposterous, but perhaps a divine entity might know more about Eldrazi.
hmm.
I'm
But
afraid
okay, we do
that
have one problem right now about that because all of our uh or divine being that we some of us has contact with, like already Verity is have one of himself, and Alara has one. Uh, has been kind of blocked by the Eldrazi influence for a while. That they kind of seal or are in within the vicinity every time we try to contact.
Understood, because you're trying to reach out beyond the plane of Zendikar itself. But what if a divine entity were already within it?
In Zendikar, can we
You have
find such?
Carabinos.
unfortunately
But
with
Carabinos says
Carabinos, the
that he
problem is
hasn't,
he wants us under the employ to take care of whatever it is he's in.
and
We
he
have
is
escaped the first
way.
time.
I did not say it would be easy to get help from a divine entity. Oh no.
No. And we have already have trouble getting out and not the easiest to deal with last time we went in contact with him. So he might have the answer, but this we don't want to go back to him if that's concerning.
If
Maybe
not
we'll
Carabinos, if you can somehow find an angel or some other divine being that could shed a lot of light.
The problem is I think we know one that is being sealed somewhere. Out of character. Oh no.
I think I can try for. Like, I can try roll for a divine intervention later. But later.
Oh, right. You can use a divine intervention every day if you pass the roll
But
at least.
if I pass, I cannot use it for the next 7 days.
But that's good because you already have the divine intervention for
Yeah.
because that's like one free pass for you can do a lot of stuff. Okay, so if there's one, so we can either ask.
Nobody wants Carabinos around too.
Nope.
So we can either ask a divine being that is currently in plane, or if there is a way to try to shut off the Eldrazi influence while we are asking information from our own deities or patron. Oof. Do you think that this is in character? Do you think that all this would be also a
Yes.
oh shit, oh, I suddenly lost my train of thought, sorry about that. Do you think that this all of the symbols over here, it's also what keeps the Hedron afloat?
I cannot say for all hedrons, and it would concern me if that were indeed what were in all hedrons. But these symbols appear to tie into certain divine aspects or vestiges. Again, I regret that I do not have much knowledge of the divine on this. Okay, those from outside Zendikar can roll me a religion check.
Yay! So all of you guys beside me.
Okay.
Legion.
Yeah. 5.
You are cleric.
15.
Neric has more religion. What?
I
No,
have
it's
stuck up
intelligence.
religion.
Oh, right, it's
Brain.
intelligent modifier. Yeah.
I have
forgot.
wiseness.
I have no clue. Okay, hang on, I want to try Sony as well.
Yeah. So Sonny, you can go and try it.
Where is...
Verity roll. Oh.
Hey, Sony, big brain.
Oh.
It's like, oh, you guys don't know?
Verity roll.
Okay, so what he mentions divine vestiges or aspects. So this is an interesting terminology that Nerif and Sony have touched upon in their training as sensates,
Oh,
because
yeah.
this actually goes into something like, okay, so out of character, you all are familiar with deities, but do you know that deities also have their own domains, so to speak?
Yes.
Yeah, like their portfolios.
Yes. So a divine vestige or aspect is something lighter than that. Think about it as a mini portfolio
Like
or a
domain.
vestige that hasn't yet become a deity, or something like a level or two below a deity.
A cult leader.
Well,
If you want to put it that
a
way.
vestige is not a god in its own right. It has powers, but it doesn't have clerics.
Right.
Okay.
So it's almost like a follower of
it's
the-
a mini god.
Midway boss.
yeah.
It's a mini god.
It's almost like follower of the previous guy, but he itself doesn't
No,
have.
not necessarily followers. Some of them are competitors, even.
Yep.
Ooh.
As it is
So-
the interest of a god to make sure that a vestige or aspect doesn't, like,
Become-
displace
Much
it or poke
sway.
it out. Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Yeah. So other similar entities, but they lack the following.
Yeah. They
Wait,
don't
Not
have
as
the
popular, but
followers.
they're just as good.
I want to ask, is it something like a Greek god? Like Titan used to be like one god, like
Think
god,
about
and
this
then-
way.
God.
Divine vestiges or aspects can be warlock patrons.
Yeah. So they're also creatures of power, but they don't have the same sort of following.
Kind of
so
like
they are
Archfey.
so they are like I can make it like a Greek god, like Titan was once a god,
Okay,
and then like
creatures
there's
is also
tons.
questionable, because some of these divine vestiges or aspects are not creatures.
Ooh. Okay, so
Entities, maybe the better word.
Is it entity will be a better word, or
You know how like the hex blade has like just a sword or some weird thing. It's not the Raven Queen. It's a weird sword thing.
yeah,
Yes.
no, I know that the hex blade is the sword is the power, and then you can use that
And
power.
then you wouldn't call the sword a creature. So
yeah.
it's like one of those mysterious
It's an
things that
entity.
Let's just call it
It's
a
a thing.
powerful entity
A powerful.
that has
A semi-powerful
a
entity.
thing.
So that's why they
being.
use the word vistage
Yeah.
because it's not a
vestiges.
creature. It's
Yeah.
like okay.
yeah, a god would be quite irritated by vestiges because they are these like they are either competition or something that's like not quite there to it.
It's like
Yes.
it's like having a secretary and then you telling the secretary, no, it's okay. I have a phone. My phone can record things. And then the secretary's like, bitch, what you pay me for?
Okay, so yeah.
For
yeah.
company.
So these are like the vistage of the gods. Or that particular god.
This vestige. Let me type the word in.
I heard it before, but I mean like just
Yes.
didn't use it in this game before.
A
Vestige.
vestige.
Okay, so-
What does that word mean? Vestige, noun, a trace or remnant of something that
Yeah.
is disappearing or no longer exists. Like a
You know the legs on a
yes,
snake?
last vestiges of colonialism.
I
Nice
was
example.
thinking more like vestigial
Caesar.
tail. We have the coccyx.
Like if the vestige does not become like a proper divine entity or a god or
Does it
something like that, it might just eventually fade away because it doesn't have a following.
Oh,
Cool.
It forgets what it is.
Wait,
Like the
why
Japanese
did this
gods.
word come up again? What was the point of this?
It's this
Talking
thing.
about the
It's
tiles?
the tiles
the
of
tiles.
power
Uh-huh.
might be the same
Vestiges.
meaning as vistage.
Yeah.
Vistage.
So these
vestige.
so those tiles are probably once like signified deities of some
Or
kind.
tryhards, as you can call it.
Cool. You know what? Okay, so knowing that and having my memory know what the words are, would I start to consider that those vestiges may be objects that we need to collect, like Pokemon?
What? I don't think that's how that works.
I don't think that's how that
They
works.
are not objects or collectibles, but they are entities. That
Yeah, so can we
you can try contacting them, but this deities do not like them, so probably Alara should not be trying to contact them.
probably not. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, yeah. So, but I can guess that they're contactable. Like I can ring, hello, wrong number. Sorry.
Hi, would you like to be my first follower as a patron? Kind of.
Oh, that doesn't
No.
end well.
No.
Yeah, I think it's like show up.
Patreon.
I need power. Give me power. We'll work for power.
That's warlock thinking there.
Yes.
That's why they can be warlock patrons.
Yeah, I know.
Call them up and say, hey man, I think you owe my deity $5. Just saying, okay, bye. Click.
You better pay
I
out.
see you're out of work.
Do you want a job? I sell insurance for
I'll
5
link
followers.
that old thing again. But yes, it's a callback to a long time ago. Well
Yeah.
done, everyone.
Yeah, I thought about that because I have both the object in
It's the
say.
thing.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the thing.
I do like because I remember and because I'm also a rune sage that can read all writing. Last time I remember seeing like the top 6 top is it 6? 8. Yeah, top 8 of the word because I was just there. I was always there.
People wanted to step over all the squares, man.
And then since Alara remembers and wrote down everything, and then I was like, I see everything now. So I brought it up because I know the meanings of the words and what their symbolizers are. So now you guys have this. As
There's a typo. It's not of wealth, it's of wealth.
But hey, just ignore though. So yeah,
I like how
uh,
Lady of the Moon is like a friggin' satellite
I
dish.
know. It's SETI.
satellite on the moon. So now you guys have the knowledge of what I knew of the words here.
Mmm.
Ah.
Magic.
Reason why
Wealth
I
and
always
knowledge is freaking National Geographic.
Dun 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 dun. It's with. Okay, it's with. With
There's-
and knowledge.
there's a reason why I keep standing on War and Peace, like during the fight, with the dead people inside that domain.
You all were trying to trigger every single one of those. Fine.
I only
Not
trigger
really,
War.
man.
I only trigger War and Peace because it give me the Tensor's transmutation power of 50 force damage.
Okay. So that aside, anything else to conclude for today's session?
No, that's one big thing that I want to
Yes,
say, but I don't know what should I bring it up. So yeah, that's my part that I dealt with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that information is useful for Mr.
Maybe anyone,
Dar here.
maybe Noyandar himself can start looking for information.
Okay, as in Noyanda can't really do anything about this because he does not have any sort of divine knowledge. But let's just say that some of you might try to contact these entities if you dare, but not Alara or Moment because they're already taken.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
My water god will
Yeah,
flush me down
I
the
may
drain.
want to try. Yeah, I may want to try to go back to talk to the Raven Queen and see if she knows about.
And
the
it's
Eldrazi.
difficult to contact outside of this plane, but within it, some things might work.
Yeah, I mean, like I would try see if because last time I tried the thing was there and she has to like kick me out. I don't know. I see if I try that next time and if I can do anything about the nearby environments of the goddamn tentacles. See if I can work it.
Ooh,
So,
fate,
but that's
fate and fortune.
Oh, one more thing.
Fascinating.
I'm gonna. As I'm standing up, I stopped for a while because I just remembered. Noyanda, what do you know about actual elementals within like Glasspool?
oh right about that. Yes. Sit back down.
And then I tell him the story about what we did and why I'm a dumb shit.
Oh,
And I
also,
touched
do
the
you want
water.
to tell him that the kind of a weird time manipulating once we get near to the glass pool thingy? There is
I'm
some
gonna tell him.
warping happening.
Okay, Norinda said, Glass Pool, the expedition to Valakut did go, but their records were completely unsynchronized, so that indicated something strange was there that no one was able to get a consensus on. You tell him what you experienced, is it?
Yep.
Fascinating. So you still remember?
Yeah, the place being warped. Like I do, because I remember my character do count distance and how much time because that's what he do. He was a guide. He still is right now. To a certain location, but Glasspool has shortened and warped the distance so immensely that he remembers that
Yep.
ships shifting has happened in there.
The Valakut accounts are very strange on that. I believe you. All I can theorize is that you met this elemental.
Mm-hmm.
This elemental is indubitably some kind of a guardian left there. And
Yes. It didn't like that we threw something into the
No,
water.
he didn't. He didn't like rocks thrown at him.
There was a warning for all of us guide if we pass through glass pool is to not drop anything at all into the pool.
I
So-
shrug.
It angers the pool.
The Wimmy pool angry.
Like,
Alara shrugs like
Just
"I don't know."
because Alara you want to go for a swim doesn't mean that you want to drop a stone in it.
I shrug again.
so
Just
I
water.
told you about the story of one who came before Enowen, a different vampire.
Uh-huh.
Records get even more scarce here, but apparently there was something even before him.
Ah,
So is Burke's story to you actually something that we need to look into?
Huh? Burks didn't tell us anything.
No,
Yes.
Burks did tell
He
Nerif
did.
something.
Oh, except for Naruto.
I'm
Yeah.
taking out of character.
Oh, okay.
He did told him about what when he go into the gospel thingy.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I don't think we can really do anything about that now, so I'm not gonna worry
Yeah.
anyone else about it. I suppose I'll bring it out now.
Mhm.
When Burks went off by himself, he did mention, and then I explained what happened. Like he ended up.
Both tell everything.
I'm not sure
I
actually. how
remember
much he
Burks tell
told.
him about this is me phrasing, but him going in keep saying about a certain name. I don't remember what name is it. I forgot to write it down.
I
But
remember
then
it was
he's
quite
looking
chaotic.
for
People
yeah,
were
quite
running
chaotic.
around.
Like something was released and they are trying to find something to put it back into place, quote unquote bindings. But he did say a certain name over and over again. Some people did say that when they were looking for the information, it's a very old, ancient name. Don't remember that name.
Okay.
Alara shocked Pikachu face.
Assuming Nerif remembers the name, Norinda's face is just blank. Says that that name means I do not know what it means, but it is ancient. And this scene you say of chaoticness and all this, he strains his own memory, and those of you who are around can. It's as if sharing a mental link with Noyenda as if someone is flipping through encyclopedias worth of books in split seconds.
Oh,
Just words spraying past. He's trying-
Big
can
brain.
Alara catch like interesting things while he's
Flipping the
blurbing to
book.
himself?
He's processing this extremely quickly. Make me an intelligence check.
I can assume.
7.
No, it's as if EULA agreements are slapping you every
Oh
second.
no. Oh no. Okay.
Okay, okay.
See, there was an ancient civilization once on Zendikar. The core were a big part of it. They had a great capital city of Makindi, which is presently in Ondu, though much diminished, and according to scarce accounts, they had bases around Zendikar, and then everything else pretty much goes into fictional accounts and theoretical ones. But it is said there was a civilization before for which the runes arise.
Right. So is it like a different time?
It's a way ancient
Much
time, even
longer ago.
yeah. So it's more older than anyone and like someone before anyone even.
Yeah. So they either sequestered themselves away in this hidden
Time warp?
dimension, or
Warp.
That might be a relic or some kind of artifact from their history. And that's where history just cuts off, because I suspect this civilization met the Eldrazi and things did not go well.
I kind of have a feeling that the Eldrazi is that old, even back then.
I mean, you have 2 vampires and 1 other guy, so it has to be old man with that.
So yeah, that is glassful.
I look at him as I get out. I can't think of anything else to cover with you at the moment. I think it would be pertinent if I went and started talking with the house heads Feel free to maintain this link. Perhaps you might have insight that we do not have while we're speaking to them.
So much knowledge, but so hard to apply. That has been my life.
Well, you
I
have the
wish you luck
knowledge.
with the houses, and I will lend a hand where I can.
I nod.
Okay. I thank you
then-
very much. You have been very helpful with information throughout these times that we need information of.
All right, if nothing else, we'll close the session for tonight.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Before I forget, I do need to ask goddamn Sony, can I have a sip?
Sure.
He wants some of that Ovaltine.
What's your health HP looking like though? That's a very
She won't go unconscious from a bite.
Yeah, I mean, like,
there's a certain thing that Moment won't do.
One.
How much
Okay.
HP, like maximum HP do you have?
Nerif has healing now. Oh.
Wait, Neros use healing? What?
On a scale of 1 to 100, I'm short by 1.
Oh, yeah, sure, by one. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit by Itakakimasu. Thank you very much. Yep.
I like to imagine you just like grab her arm and be like, "Ow."
Jump. And then Sunny's like, the fuck, bro?
Oh, not in front of.
Wow, that's a lot of sipping. I'm very hungry.
Oh, wow.
Ah, starvation.
Nice.
Nourished.
All right,
Okay,
thanks
so-
for listening, everyone.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you.
We'll
Thank you.
hopefully be back again next week. But with
Yep.
COVID, everybody stay safe. Stay safe. Be good and be healthy. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.